I'm actually making this video to procrastinate my history essay. Hey guys, if you're in sixth form, in your first year of uni, or just generally interested in knowing how you can have a better uni experience, the best uni experience, watch this video. This is just from my own personal experience. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna say is don't go back home every 2 weeks. This is if you've moved out, obviously. So hear me out. In first year, I'd go back home every 2 weeks. Yes, it was every 2 weeks to continue with driving lessons. I'd book my test like in my home city, and so I wanted to practice and do driving lessons in my home city. That's why I didn't take driving lessons at Warwick. I feel like I would have become more settled faster into uni if I just stayed at uni. If you have the choice, try to stay at uni for as long as possible and maybe go back after like 5 weeks, like in reading week or something. Obviously, I understand that you'll get homesick. Uni, it can become a very lonely place. It's a completely new environment. You're away from your family. I'm not saying like don't go home at all, but don't make it a routine to like keep going back home. So if we calculate in term 1, maybe I went back home like 5 times. You know, I missed out on like some experiences, you know, hanging out with friends like during the weekend or just doing my own thing during the weekend. But instead I was commuting back and forth. Okay, number 2, what I wish I'd done is socialize and like go out guilt-free and not try so hard to be the little Miss Perfect, wake up at 6 AM, go to bed by 10 PM. I mean, that's what I need right now, I can't lie. And I want to sleep debt right now. If you've been invited to a party, just go. If your flatmates say that they're going out clubbing, just go with them. Obviously, if you've been clubbing a few times and you don't like it, you don't need to go. I'm not forcing you to. Clubbing is not for everyone, and especially like depending on the music, the venue, the people or the society that you're going with, it can really make or break the experience. Be intentional with like the social activity that you're doing, but you're not going to be this young again. These 3 to 4 years will pass by so quickly. As I'm experiencing right now, I only have like 1 term left of my second year. After that, I'll be halfway through my uni degree, which is really sad to think about. When you do go out socializing, do not, and I repeat, do not think about the work that you need to be doing. Like, okay, let's say that I went out with my friends for dinner today or something. I'm gonna force myself not to think about the essay that I have due in a few days. It's my fault for procrastinating that essay and not having like started it earlier. Whilst you're hanging out with your friends, whilst you're having that uni experience, don't think about all your obligations. Just be in the present and focus on the here and now, and just enjoy what you're doing. It's understandable, like, you know, being so anxious about upcoming assignments. Like, I've been there loads of times. It always gets done in the end, you know, whether you have to request for extension deadlines, whether you have to pull all-nighters, whether you have to just stay in your room all day, like the day before you hand it in. It gets done in the end. So yeah, in summary, just socialize guilt-free. All right, the third and final thing that I regretted was, so in first year, I would do my seminar reading like a few days in advance, or I would even after my seminar finished, and I would do the reading for like next week's seminar. But I don't think there was any point in doing it that early, because then by the time it got to next week's seminar, I would just forget what I read. Like, yeah, okay, I could like refresh myself on my notes like just before the seminar, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't fresh in my mind, and I felt like I didn't have enough confidence to talk about it in the seminar. Obviously, if you're a waffler, then you could waffle your way through anything. It doesn't matter like when you do your reading. It doesn't matter if you even don't do your reading. What I would recommend to you guys is actually doing your seminar reading the day of or the day before. Create like a mental schedule, or you can even like create an actual physical schedule like on your calendar app on Notion, and like just dedicate a period of time to doing a reading, whether that's like 1 hour or 2 hours for each module. Let me give you an example. I've got 2 seminars Tuesday morning, 1 seminar Wednesday morning, and then another seminar Friday afternoon, right? So my Tuesday morning seminar, I will do my reading Monday evening. For Wednesday seminar, I'll do my reading Tuesday evening, the evening before, and then Friday afternoon, I'll do my reading. Okay, and younger me would have been shocked that I'm doing this right now, but I'll do my reading literally after my Friday 9 AM lecture, like the lecture for that module, before my 2 PM seminar for that module. Last minute, but like it's fresh in your mind, and I feel more confident when I'm like participating in seminars and talking about what I read. There's one time when I did my reading like the week before, and then when I was like asked in class, I literally said like, I've done the reading, but it was a week ago, and so I don't really remember. Like actually I said that out loud. If I'm gonna be spending my time doing the reading, I want it to be put to use, like for good. So just do it like before your seminar when it's like still fresh in your mind, whether that's the day of or the day before. Okay, right, now we're gonna go more to the quote-unquote positive half of the video, where I talk about 3 things that I'm glad I did, 3 things that have set me up well in second year. You know how I mentioned in the previous half of the video that you should socialize guilt-free and, you know, just have fun all you can? I am going to add some balance to that argument and also say that you should start thinking about your career as well. And I think first year is actually the best year to do it, because I know for a lot of us, first year does not count. Your grade at the end of first year does not count to your final grade at the end of your university career. And so you can use that time to exploring what careers are out there, applying to open days and insight schemes, going to careers fairs at your uni, just so that you can build foundations for your second year. Because your second year, you know, it actually counts. And so second year is when you need to devote more time to your degree. From experience and from what my friends at Warwick have told me, it's really, really difficult to devote, you know, 50-50 of your energy to your degree and to applications. It always happens that one is favoured over the other. So in your first year, just whilst you have loads of time, go to CV clinics, you know, make sure that your CV is professional and easy to read and whatnot. CV clinics, that's basically like one-to-one workshops that careers societies at your uni will hold. As someone like maybe 1 year or a couple of years above you will look at your CV and give you like feedback on how to improve it. Like when I was applying for law vacation schemes this year, the process was not new to me in general, like because I'd applied for open days and first year schemes last year. I didn't feel as daunted. It's always best to like build foundations early on, even if it's just something small, even if it's just applying to like 1 open day. That's like better than nothing. But yeah, in summary, just have fun, but then also think about your future and prepare for it. Okay, my next point is to not rush your second year housing. I've had like a few people who, you know, sorted out their housing term 1 first year with like the first group of friends that they found, and now they're having, you know, arguments. There's just conflict over sorting out how much each person should pay with the bills, you know, falling out, stuff like that. It's just like, wait until you're in your second term when you can be a bit more objective and clear-sighted on who you want to be living with. But yes, of course, live with your friends or live with a friend. Like, I'm so glad that I live with my friend, because like going back home, you know, I'll like see her in the kitchen, and it's really nice to have that company. Otherwise it can get very lonely in your accommodation. Like, I don't think I could ever just live on my own, like in a studio. Like I do need that social element. Do not feel like you need to live in a house. There are so many student accommodations, so you don't have to worry about bills. Everything is sorted out for you. I think with houses, I've heard stories of odd landlords, and if the landlords aren't actively weird and trying to like scam you, they're not even there. Like, they're unresponsive when something goes wrong in your house. So go student accommodation, okay? You really gotta be intentional with where you want to live. Like, a practical tip that I'd advise is that you get like a digital camera or a film camera or a Polaroid. So I get the film developed, like I go into a shop and get it developed and stuff. I get like the digital scans, but I also get like the physical prints that I put in my photo album. First year photos, it was only like a year ago, but it just feels like a very like golden, dreamy, nostalgic past. I'm really glad that I have these memories to look back on. Because if you're that person that, yeah, you just don't take pictures because you don't like how you look and stuff, I completely get that. But I think, I know from experience that I wish I'd had more pictures taken of me when I was a teenager, when I didn't really like how I looked. Just because it's so nice to look back on what you were doing with your friends and your family. I think it's just a shame to not be able to see that. Just think about, you know, you in 5-10 years, you when you're much older, like as an older person, and don't you want photos to look back on, to remember your youth? You know, your youth only happens once, and you need to capture the memories of your youth. I think there's just something very special, the kind of filter, the effect that's on those kinds of cameras, like they look more vintage and stuff. But also with like my film camera, for example, I can't see the photo immediately when I take it. Like, it might be like a month or two until I can develop it, because there's like 36, 36 rolls of my film. Does that make sense? There are 36 like pictures that I could take on one roll of film, and so it might take me 1 month to complete that film before I can develop it. And so it's such a nice surprise when I see what I was doing like a few months ago, like, oh yeah, I did that, or like, oh yeah, I did that with my friends. And I know that when I send those pictures, those developed pictures to my friends, it's so nice for them too. And it just brings the community closer together. Seeing it when it's done and being reminded of your friendships and relationships that you have at uni. I think that was actually like the perfect point to end on. It was a wholesome conclusion to this video. Okay, thank you so much for watching. That is all I have to say about making the most of your uni life, getting the best experience out of these few years that you have. If you're in sixth form right now, if you're in secondary school, some people might disagree with me, but I think uni is going to be one of the best times of your life. At least it is for me, so I am talking from a biased perspective. Here's what you make of it, and if you apply these 6 tips that I've talked about in this video, then I can almost 99% guarantee you that you will have a good time and hopefully have the least amount of regrets possible. So if you enjoyed this video, if it helped in any way, make sure to like. You can also give me a comment if you really enjoyed this video, if there's a particular aspect, particular piece of advice that you resonate with, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've come this far and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? And once I end this video, I am gonna take a break firstly because I'm kind of tired. And then hopefully I will start doing the reading for my essay. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!